Well, hello folks. Welcome to Auto Arcadia. I'm one of the hosts, Colin Wood, and with me, as always, is
Thomas Hope, the other host.
how you doing, dude?
I'm no the best, bit under the weather, but good otherwise. Yourself?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not bad. I've had a testing week, but apart from that, I'm quite happy.
Yeah, and it's end of week right now.
Yeah, it's the best day of the week.
Agreed. I'm really looking forward to
Well,
it. Plus Silverstone GP this weekend.
yes, yes. I'm not gonna lie, that is absolute fucking news to me. But yes, it is. Um,
That's amazing. You kind of caught blindsided by that one.
did I? Were you not expecting that response?
No, I never presume. If you don't follow it, you don't follow it. Like I had genuinely no idea Wimbledon was on.
That is also news to me.
See, you've learned stuff already.
I, yeah, man, this has got to be an educational episode. I feel.
Most
I
certainly,
think it's going
yeah.
to be good. Well, not educational, but it's going to be us pair flapping our gums to some bullshit. So, aye.
We
Well,
wouldn't
Tom.
want to change.
Oh, definitely not. You know, it's just fucking aye.
So, what is our
Well,
topic of today?
so earlier in the week how we were discussing cars, and I was like, we should totally buy a 1 Series BMW because there's a spec series for the 116i BMW, which is like a spec club racing series. Legitimately less than 800 quid can make you a, air quotes, race car driver.
Yeah, which I bet that is really, really good fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we've kind of covered before that a lower powered car with skinny tires that's really playful is a lot of fun. And when you're on a field full of like-minded individuals, well, in a racing field on track, you know, surrounded by like-minded individuals, all in the same shitbox car with like control tires and everything, I bet that is a fucking riot.
Yeah, spec racing's usually pretty close.
Yeah, like it would be a giggle.
I know. I can imagine laughing manically throughout the entire race, like not particularly doing very well, but having a great time whilst
Yeah.
doing it.
Well, I reckon, as an entry into motorsports, that's quite a good way to go. But
Absolutely, I totally agree. And it's like there's also the C1 Racing Cup they do as well, which is also really, really cheap.
oh yes, well, I'm a fan of a Citroen C1, as
I
we both
know.
know. Um, honestly, I reckon that would make a fucking cracking race car as well. I know it's the spec series, so you've got no option. It's like Citroen C1 or fucking nothing. But honestly, they handle really well. There's a bit of a classic mini vibe to them, you know?
Yeah, a little 1 litre engine, revving the absolute nuts off it.
Yeah, no weight, wheeling each corner, like at the extreme of each corner as
And
well.
you were saying thin tires.
They don't get much thinner.
Yeah, they probably don't, honestly.
I mean, you could try and run it on like rubber bands, but that's the only way you're getting thinner tires. I think my mountain bike has thicker tires than the fucking one the C1 had. But, and this is the thing, so this drove a question to the forefront of my mind, and that is, what sort of budget would you actually need? Like, if you wanted into motorsport, say Monday morning, Tom wakes up and he's like, "Fuck this, no more work. I am going to become a fucking race driver." And we're not like talking the next Lewis Hamilton, but we're like getting to the stage where like you could potentially turn a hobby into like an existence. Like all you need to do is do well a couple times and then get your sponsorship and everything else. But
I mean, it sounds so simple. I'm
You know,
unconvinced.
I actually know a guy in Dumfries that done this. Admittedly, it wasn't on cars, so he started off on motorbikes at track days, and then he started racing like as a clubman racing, like as a hobby. And he got to the point where he was like, people were like, "You're actually doing fucking reasonably well here." He was like, the worst result he actually had for like a year or two before he got sponsored was like mid pack, and he was consistently in like the top five, the top 10. Like he was doing really well. There was a load of local businesses got behind him, and they're like, you know what, we'll sponsor you. Like he went to them and asked, but they were like, yeah, we'll sponsor you. You're doing well. Like we want prominent logo placement, but yeah. And he's actually does that as his job now. He's self-employed as a race car driver.
I mean, that's a dream, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean it's not out the realms of possibility if you. I think if you look at it as you're not wanting to get paid for driving, you're wanting to get paid for basically sponsorship. Like you're
Yeah.
almost commission based.
Aye, like if you win, you make more.
If you win, you make more, and you can continue to make more and more and more. But yeah, it's I'm not like saying every man and their dog can go out and be fucking Porsche Cayman Championship winners and stuff. It's just not feasible. But yeah, one of the things that I found when I was looking into this was there's so many different avenues to get into it. And one of the really surprising things is there's actually precious few people who actually get paid for driving a race car.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very select club.
Yeah,
You do it for the
legitimately,
love.
yeah. Like you're doing it because you want to do it. Like all the drivers in BTCC, for example, pretty much all of them pay for their run in the cars. I'm sure Plato has an agreement with his team because he brought a really big sponsor on board. And there's maybe two other drivers that get paid by their team. The rest of them are like sponsored to drive, but they're paying to drive for the team.
Aye, that's quite intense.
And that's a crazy like situation to put yourself in where you're like, I'm actually having to pay to get my seat time
Aye.
to then make the sponsorship,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
all
meant.
contingent on having that sponsorship, isn't it?
That's it. So, you know, it pretty much to me it is like being paid on commission, essentially. Like if you're not selling, you're not making money.
Yeah. But is there ways in for the everyman, the man who is not going to be making commission for his first few races?
Yeah, there is. So, I mean, just to get it out the way, like you can pay for a seat in a privateer team.
Yeah, like at the 24 hours of Spa or like Nürburgring and stuff like that.
Yeah, and in touring cars like WTCC, BTCC, Genetta Cups, like pretty much any like if the team is a reasonably well put together privateer outfit, you can pretty much pay for a seat. But
Mm-hmm.
for touring cars, they reckon 50k would get you into the seat of like a decent privateer team for a year.
Yeah, I mean,
And then
honestly, like, it's weird. Because you could be like, well, do I buy the. I don't know, like. Do I buy the boat? Or do I spend a year as a touring car driver? I do
it's
love
quite.
boats, I'm not sure which one I'd pick.
I'll go touring car driver.
It probably costs you less in the long run.
Probably. I mean, because like to moor a boat costs a fortune. I don't know how much it is, but I know it's a lot.
Aye, mooring costs are really expensive and stuff, aye. Like, I think there's like that expression, the two happiest days of boat ownership are buying it and then selling it.
Yeah.
It's just pain in between.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same about car ownership as well.
You absolutely could, but then you get regrets. You're like, I didn't
You do.
actually want to sell that.
Yeah, I'm fucking well aware that they exist.
I'm not sure selling a car is the happiest day of your life. Being shot of a car, sometimes.
Yes, there's a definite definition to those two statements that separates them.
Aye, there is. Sometimes you have to sell a car that you really don't want to.
So, little parley of selling aside, what do you think we should use as like a comparison tool here? Like, what sort of budget do you reckon? Because I've looked at quite a few ways that like Dave down the road could be like, fuck it, I want to get into motorsport for a laugh. And I've kind of got like some free ways in, some 500,000, 5 grand, 10 grand, different budget points.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we should compare it to an equal, like, hobby for a year. And, because we such enjoy the sport, we should compare it to golf.
I see.
So, like, we're not massive enthusiasts for golf. Like, it really work for me. Like, I actually have played golf in the past. Like, I got lessons when I was younger because, like, I thought I might enjoy it.
Right.
But I do not enjoy it. So, like, I've got experience. And golf can be expensive, but also it's exactly the kind of stupid hobby that men our age might decide they want to do.
Yeah.
So I've went for two tiers. There's get you in the door golf cost. Like, that's assuming you have none of the clobber, getting you it, and like a year's membership. Kind of the budget route. And then I've
Right.
went for the proper, like, all the gear, kind of jumping into this hobby with the wallet wide open.
Okay.
So I've got two budgets.
Hit me with them.
So your basic one, I'm going to say, just shy of $2,000. Like, for like an okay set of clubs, like typical membership, some clothing, some lessons, some balls, and an umbrella, because we're in Scotland, you're going to need an umbrella. Like, that's how much you've got to play with compared to just any rando just being like, I'm taking up golf, but I'm doing it on a budget. I'm not really including used stuff. I'm assuming that this person has no awareness of the world and just buys new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And then for your all the gear kind of guy, like, spenny clubs, same cost of membership, but like all of the proper fashion branded clothing. Like, basically I went on a golf website and sorted by highest price.
Yeah.
And then we're adding in some like one of the robot trolleys and like a GPS watch or rangefinder and some like spenny gloves and like just based accessories that you can overspend on.
This sounds like the sort of man that bought a 645 CI.
Exactly the kind of man who buys an individually spec'd 645.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm giving you a budget of 6,660 quid for
What?
for your jumping in both feet kind of guy.
That's ridiculous.
That's mental, isn't it?
That's meant that is crazy, crazy money.
Can you imagine taking up golf, putting all that on a credit card, and then hating it, and like just sitting having to pay off your regret every month?
I mean, I tell you, Tom, I stay in a little village that's got like a 100-year-old golf-ist field.
Yeah, golf
Right.
grass.
Yeah, and based on the faces of quite a lot of the people that frequent this place, I'm assuming that is quite a common predicament to be in. Because they don't fucking look like they're enjoying their hobby.
It's because it's really difficult as well, so everyone's inevitably terrible at it. I'm sure my conspiracy theory about golf is the whole like idea of lessons. Like there's no way you can play golf well, and we all just like gaslight each other into being like, you just need more lessons. Like, oh, there's very few other sports that, like, normal people take so many dedicated lessons to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I mean,
Like, you don't get badminton lessons, do you? You don't pay a guy.
no,
You don't pay a guy 30 bar for a half an hour's worth of badminton lesson.
no, you don't.
I mean, I'm sure you can, but like as an amateur, the barrier to entry is not really that high. You pick up a racket and a shuttlecock and you whack it about a bit. You're like, all right, I kind of get the point of this.
Yeah, like you're not spending thousands of pounds. Certainly not. Well,
Absolutely not. So that's the money you've got to play with.
yeah, cool. Right then, so I'm gonna start at the bottom. So like if you don't have anything, say you're a teenager and you're like, I want to get in this world. I want to be in this sphere of operations, so that when I actually get some money and that I can look at jumping in. So like the source for my information is motorsportuk.org. Just throw that out there because it's a massive fucking like resource if anyone's thinking about this. So if you're for free, you're not getting behind the wheel. But you mean you could do the trials driver passenger. You need a clubman license for it, but that's free, which we just found out, and I also just have gotten. There's helping out on teams as a mechanic or just an extra pair of hands, so like you could actually learn a trade doing this as well. And then you can volunteer as like a marshal. So that's like event safety. A bit of experience, you can move up to like officiating or scrutineering, so like checking that the vehicles comply with the regulations and stuff. It's all actually pretty cool.
This is all just like getting involved, helping out.
Yeah. So like on the whole, people would be happy for this. Like if you were like, for instance, where I am, it'd be South of Scotland Motorsport Club. It's like 20 quid a year to join it, and they would be like, if you were like joined that and emailed them and said, I want to help scrutineer or marshal in a rally, they'd be like, fucking no problem, sir.
Aye, they're probably short-staffed.
We'll come and pick you up. You'll get bacon rolls and coffee and shit all throughout the day. And yeah, so like...
Wear waterproofs.
Yeah, there's ways into it, but yeah, wear waterproofs. Wear wellies as well. Forest rallies frequent the same sort of places as fucking mountain bike tracks, except without the downhilly aspect of it, and I would say, and you're gonna get covered in shit.
Yeah.
Then like, so say you've got 500 quid, and
pretty reasonable starting seed capital, you know.
Yeah, and like this isn't like 500 quid for a weekend either.
Is this is for a year, aye?
This is, I take it that this is for a year. It's a bit vague, but based on like the costs that you're looking at, I would say a year. Say 6 months for the 500 quid one, just to be realistic.
Okay.
So you're actually getting behind the wheel of a car here. So you got like road rallying.
I know that's like checkpoint to checkpoint where you follow a set of directions essentially, and it's expressly not really a race. You're not like meant to speed.
Yeah. So they're only open to road cars, takes place on public roads, ran by motor clubs or motorsport clubs pretty much across the country, and entry fees are roughly about 50 quid, and involves going from point A to point B via a series of time controls on a schedule. So basically you're trying to maintain an average of 30 mile an hour, and the challenge is that you have to navigate and work out where to go using a map and a number of clues, which actually sounds like a riot, you know?
Yeah, I actually think we should probably have a look and see if we could do one of these, because it just sounds like a really nice, like, fun time, just going for a drive.
Yeah, because I mean, realistically, what you're doing, that's like £12.50 each if you got a car with 4 guys in it, right?
I totally, yeah.
Get some beers for the 3 guys that aren't driving, for the 2 guys in the back, sorry. Some fucking pop, some bacon rolls and that, and go out and have a laugh. Like that sounds fucking
It
class.
does sound like quite a nice day out, aye.
Um, so yeah, like, and that's like cool because you're getting people involved. It's like actually not like just on your own in a car racing around a circuit. You're actually having a social experience doing something potentially you're gonna love.
Yeah, it's like it's low key, it's accessible. Like you literally are driving on public roads at normal speeds, so all you need is a car. Which, because you've shown up somewhere, chances are you've got.
Yeah. So like that's like properly accessible. Like anyone can do that. If you're over this age of 17 and you've got your fucking driving license, you can do it.
Yeah, that sounds good. I would love to do it in something really, really slow. So it actually did become, like, you have to rag it absolutely everywhere.
Yeah. So like a Mark One Micro or something like that.
Yeah, or like, an old Fiat 124, something like that. Was that the one that was basically the Fiat 500?
Fuck, I don't know. I'm not up on my Fiat numbered cars, unfortunately.
Aye, whatever. But something that's like actual legit slow.
Yeah, like the slower the better here.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's not really a race. It's more just about getting where you need to go.
yeah, I would say absolute max ceiling for performance here is really like Toyota GT86, and even that I think is probably going to be too much.
Do you know what? I totally agree. Like, you would want something maybe sporty and fun if like the roads you were driving down were like, they were like a nice road where you could like blast along it and then just like stop for a little bit and look at the view, so you like maintain your time.
Yeah, totally, man. Like that would be fucking really good fun.
But yeah, I mean, you don't really want to be like, they wouldn't schedule a road rally through like the middle of an incredibly congested city.
No,
Uh,
it's gonna be in the back of beyond
it's
and
gonna be
nowhere.
rural, yeah. I mean, no one wants to be driving along the A1.
No, that
Like
sounds
that's just
awful.
like it's not scenic.
So like that's probably the most accessible one. And then there's some of these next ones are totally new to me. I'd never even heard of them before, right?
Okay.
So you've got auto solos. So they're only for road cars. The car must be driven to and from the events. Between like so you can't crash. If you crash at the event and can't drive away, you're in the sin bin. Fucking
I
game
love
over.
that. Is that like someone been coming with a car that's like barely able to get to the destination, but in like almighty lap and it just fucking explodes.
That's it. How shit would that be? Like, imagine going to your first entry level auto solo and your car blows up and you're like, oh, I can't drive home. And they're like, disqualified! Get the fuck out of here! You're a disgrace!
You're banned. Yeah, that would
Oh,
be
fuck.
bro.
Um, fucking hell, where was that?
Auto solo.
That's it, yeah, auto solos. So,
They've got such a strange name. An
it
auto
is.
solo.
It really threw. I've never heard of this before. This sounds class though. So it's like between 30 and 50 quid to enter, they reckon, fees. And it's basically a cone marked course you've got to complete as quickly as possible without touching any cones.
Is that like car park kind of cone layout?
Yeah, so I think this is much similar to like what auto testing is.
This is going to be something that's like you want your light, fairly like peppy, like caterums and stuff like that are going to be absolutely amazing around this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what you're going to be like against here, I would assume. And then the next one actually is auto testing. But they're a bit more. It's similar to auto solos, but more demanding. So like top classes are for like modified specials, but there's road going classes for standard road cars. Like entry fees are like 30, 40 quid.
And these will be bracketed as well. Even in like road cars, they'll probably be bracketed.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have like front wheel drive, four wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and then you've got to have displacement classes as well. Because broadly speaking, your vehicle weight and size goes up with displacement as well. So yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I like these. This again would also be something really, really good fun to take part in. Especially if we were to have, say, our own car to do such a thing.
Yes, which is something we're looking at currently,
Yeah,
but
pending that one.
we won't divulge too much more on that one. So yeah, then you've got the like club cross, essentially entry level rally cross. So you against the clock on a grass track. You need an RS Clubman competition license, standard road car, a motorsport compliant helmet, and overalls. 50, 60 quid is the entry fee.
I bet that's great fun, but that's probably quite hard on the car.
Yeah, that'll be an absolute bastard on the car, but it'll be such good fun.
Oh yeah, I bet. I bet. What a great way to see off a car as well.
Oh yeah,
Like, I
like
could
if you're
scrap you, or I could autocross you.
and then finally, now there is, I say finally, which is go karting, and it's probably the most cost effective one because you can just like rock up to Scott Kart and be like, I want to go karting, and they'll be like, sure, give us your money.
To be fair though, the actual championships, if you wanted to like compete regularly,
Yeah,
that can start to be quite costly.
definitely. Like that's big money. Well, it's not big money, but like for an entry though, like if you were like, I'm not sure if the pressure of motorsports is for me. Like if you were to get yourself into like a semi-competitive group on an adult's day just to try it, I reckon you'd probably get a pretty good taster out of it there.
Aye, I mean sometimes they do actual kind of proper race settings where they'll give you practice, they'll do qualifying, and then they'll do like a set number of laps per race. Even if you're just like, with randoms, if there's a group of you. It depends, like some places offer it.
Absolutely, man. And like I've said this to you previously, but like I took the boys go karting, like my stepson's pal, go karting a couple of weeks ago, and I got really fucking annoyed that there's no Scott Kart venues near us or near me because there's actually probably one quite near you.
There's one, yeah, there is one, yeah.
Because you can actually pay a monthly fee, and it's like you get so many race days a week, and it puts you into their in-house championship. It's like the Scott Kart championship or whatever.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you that can then put you like into the indoor British championship. Like it's like a feeder championship for that, so that you can build your way up. Like, and that's pretty low cost because in their championship you're racing their carts, which is where the expense is.
Aye, totally it is, yeah. It's where the
Uh,
capital expenditure lies.
Definitely, man. So, what do you reckon about the 500 quid bracket?
Honestly, I would like this is way better than golf. Like for
Oh
for
yeah,
genuinely like a quarter of the price as well. See, even if you said it was for 6 months and you doubled it, it's still half the price. And like, I mean, admittedly, you do need a car, but you could argue you need a car to golf as well. For me, the winners are road rallies for like a kind of like with your friends,
yeah,
and then the auto solo as like the thing that you get a bit sweaty try hard with and have like like you try and beat your best time.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, like doing autocross would be so much fun, but like I do have a feeling you probably need a car specifically for that.
I would be inclined to agree.
Unless you just spent like you were on Copart looking for the cheapest runner, and that was whatever it was. That's what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, never say never. Uh, but I mean, yeah, man, I'm inclined to agree with you. Like, the road rallies sound fantastic, but I think, like me personally, I'd probably get the most mileage out of like auto solos or auto tests. Like, I think they'd be really good fucking fun.
I could see myself getting really into like, setting a time and then trying to beat it, and then maybe doing a little bit of something to the car to try and like get a bit more time and a bit more speed out of it. Really.
Yeah, man. Like, that sounds fucking absolute, like a riot. It sounds riotous good fun. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like the slightly hypnoticness of just lapping the same patch of tarmac over and over again.
Yeah,
Like the
you,
rhythm you can build up.
trying to build consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Consistency and smoothness.
Well, that's the big thing, isn't it? Because a lot of people, I see this a lot, like cars, bikes, like people on playing games, even like video games. And it's like people are trying to be really fast, and like even like when you're like going back to when I did like the marksmanship shooting, like actual target shooting as a sport, people try to be really fast and they're so fucking slow because of it. But like what you actually should do is be so slow it takes you forever because you're not fast because you're trying to be fast. You're fast because you're smooth, and the only way to be smooth is be really slow because you want to build muscle memory.
Hmm. Also, just like kind of taking your time, it avoids mistakes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah,
Okay, so like there are some great £500 options, but I feel that there are more expensive ways of enjoying your motorsport.
there is. So then you've got like if you had a grand. So a grand using a standard road car could get you a very full year's worth of sport. Like you could do a season's worth of auto solos, car like auto tests and road rallies, or a combination of all three for a grand in a year.
Yeah,
Literally 80 quid a month.
I mean when you look at it like that, it is. I mean, there's also the fuel, but it's good, reasonably good value.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think you do one a month, right, it's 50 quid maximum to enter them. So if you say on average they're 30 quid to enter, right? So that's 30 quid. And then 50 quid brims your tank.
Aye.
Like that's not bad going,
No,
you know?
totally not.
So I mean that's legitimately like 12 things a year, 12 events a year, one a month for 80 quid a month. That's like a grand a year. Um, but if you don't want to do like standalone events like that, you could compete in a local championship. So like a regional association of motor clubs. So like what I said before, down here it would be South of Scotland Motorsport Club, or
Yeah.
it would be the Hill Climbing Association for the UK. Hill Climbing Sprint Association, HSA it is. So I mean that there's loads out there,
There is, yeah, you're quite right.
but typically the main costs for a typical season would be like entry fees at around 30 quid per event, plus petrol and expenses.
Aye.
You could even fit like the BTRDA car trial championship or Auto Sol challenge into this budget as well. Um, and at this range as well, you've also got rallying, which is being a navigator for someone else because the navigator and the driver share the costs for the entry fees. So the driver basically provide a car, you'd come to a deal on how to split the costs. It's a great way to compete for very little money and massively challenging,
Yeah, absolutely.
but also immensely fun. Although I reckon if you were a bad passenger, this would be fucking terrible.
You would have to get used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, like if you get nervous if somebody's like mildly doing 65 or 70 in a 60 limit and that makes you nervous, this probably isn't for you.
Yeah, I agree. Pick a different hobby.
Yeah. Well, no, not
100%.
necessarily a different hobby because, like, you get people who are fucking stellar drivers. Like, my granddad was like this. He could fucking handle a car, but he was a horrible passenger. Like I remember, like after I'd passed my test, this maybe says more about me than it does about him, to be fair. But like we were driving, and like I could see him fucking tapping his foot, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you up to, big yin? Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "Well, you fucking brake, boy, brake." Like, he's trying to press an imaginary brake pedal.
Yeah, I've been there with some people driving as well. You just feel your foot naturally go to it.
Aye, like it's mental.
Do you know what my mum used to do? Because like she used to take me out when I was learning to drive,
What?
and like after, let's say call it a breakdown of communication that led to some elevated voices. We came to an agreement where she wouldn't say anything when she was getting worried, but all she'd do is just grab the panic handle and tighten her grip. And I'd just catch that out of the corner of my eye and be like, she's very worried right now. But she's, at least she's not like vocalizing those worries. Because I was like, wait, this is totally fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
There's definitely some. There's a big difference in appetite for risk between people.
Yes, yeah, totally. I think my appetite for risk has definitely decreased as well over time.
Ah, I don't know if mine has.
I mean, it's definitely not gone away because
Like,
I do enjoy some of the thrill
yeah,
seeking kind
I
of
get
hobbies.
exactly what you mean. Yeah, aye, because like, do you know what? I don't actually think it's decreased. I think I've become more measured in when I apply it.
Aye, that's actually probably a better way of looking at it. Like you're less of a risk taker, but still a thrill seeker.
Yeah, like it's now became when I'm like time to take the brain out and go for a drive. By fuck, there's some big numbers involved. Like whatever spectrum you look at it through, it's like holy fuck, that was nuts. But I don't do it all the time.
Aye, that's not how you get from destination to destination.
No, like I'll always push on at a brisk pace. That's just how I am. But like I'm not like doing fucking high triple figures
Aye,
everywhere. You know,
no dangerous numbers anymore.
no, that's
Do you know? I find this so difficult, but like, I've tried to drive cash. Just set the cruise control to 70 and just let it happen.
yeah,
And I can never really hold on to that because what I find is that like it's the worst possible speed to encounter other road users at.
yeah,
I end up finding that like road conditions kind of like naturally like nudge me into like having to be like either much slower, but that's not really very effective because like you end up running into like trucks and stuff. But then like just maybe a little bit faster to like help navigate. Like, because you don't want, the worst thing you want is when you like catch up with someone at like walking pace, and then you have to decide, well, do you like slow down a bit and then catch up to them, slow down a bit and then catch up to them, or do you try and overtake them at walking pace? And like that's not for me.
yeah.
I'm not doing
That's
that.
fair. Like the best speed on the motorway is whatever speed keeps you in a really nice big open space with plenty of room round about you.
I mean, in the many ways, yeah, like it's there's nothing worse than getting stuck in like a gaggle of cars, especially at low speeds, because low speed drivers do be doing some unpredictable things. Like, I didn't tell you, but I was driving back. Excuse me. I was driving back from Perth, and like, there's a section of road that has temporary 50 signs up. I've never seen anyone ever do 50 in that section because it's like one of those ones where it's like 50 and then like you can see the end of the 50 in visual range. It's not like a long thing or anything like that, and there's nothing there. I don't know why they're there, but they're there. And I was coming up, it's a dual carriageway, coming up behind a truck, and I was like, trucks, like, it's not doing 50, it's doing like whatever trucks do in the motorway, like 65 or whatever, 60. And I was getting like making to overtake it, And as I was overtaking the truck, this tiny car that had been holding up the truck pulled into the right hand lane, right in front of me, doing 50. I was like immediately on the brakes, like right up behind them, in a state of genuine shock that someone would do that. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would you pull into the fast lane on a dual carriageway doing 50?
It's a very good question, and one that I unfortunately don't have the answer to.
I didn't
Because
expect that, man. Sorry, that was an
no,
aside. And just every time I
man,
get in the car, I get beefed. I've got
I'm
beefs.
absolutely sympathetic to what you're saying because I have experienced this myself. It's fucking mesmer. Like, why? Why do it? You know?
There is nothing that inspires quite so much frustration as two incredibly slow moving vehicles trying to overtake each other. You know, along the A75 going up to Stranraer, you know how it becomes passing place party with crawler lanes?
Yes.
Do you know when someone's driving like a fucking camper van or something like that and they decide to pull out and take over a truck and it takes them the whole crawler lane to get past, and then everyone else is like sitting right up behind them and pulls like really sketchy maneuvers to like overtake all of them or has to like drop back in line.
Right.
That's so bad. Like, I wish people would just exercise a bit of situational awareness when they're like doing anything.
Yeah,
And
man.
that is something you could learn from taking part in motorsports. So I brought it round. It wasn't totally irrelevant.
No, absolutely. I was thinking this as well when I said about that keeping a space on the motorway. It's like that's actually a good fucking habit to have if you're like in a race. You're trying to carve yourself out space.
Aye, totally. It's not fast racing right beside someone through every corner.
No, definitely not. Well, we've came in under your budget for the first budget for the golfist
Honestly,
hobby.
man, you've absolutely smashed it. Like that's a budget build for a golfer.
Yeah, like that's used golf bats, for example, to get to a grand. The next step I have is 5K though.
That's okay. That's well within the budget for all the gear, man.
And this is opening up some. This is opening doors, like
I mean, for
so.
£5, right? That is I mean, it is a year fair, but that is a fair whack of cash to spend.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. Like that's not like obscene levels of spend. Like what's that? Well, 6 grand a month, 6 grand a year is 500 quid a month. So we're at 400 quid a month here.
Yeah, it's like rent in a cheap place.
Yeah, it's what I used to pay for rent in Dumfries. Yeah, it's not really too bad.
I don't
I
think you'd
mean,
be able to rent anywhere around here for that.
no.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I have to say though, like when we're saying like spend your rent in a month on a hobby, like there's hobbies out there that are more expensive, namely like addictions. But you know, it's
Drinking
still
can be really expensive.
yeah,
Like, honestly, if you're out, what, 4 times a month and you drop 50 quid, that's £200. But if you drop 100, that's 400 quid a month.
so it's if you stop drinking, if you're a party goer and you stop drinking, you could go racing, for example. And like you're racing at quite a cool level here as well. I think this would be like the absolute fucking pinnacle for amateur motorsports. I reckon is about here. So like the British Auto Test Championship is within grasp. It's including the Auto Test Special event at like a grand for that alone.
What's that?
Um, it's like a well, I actually looked up Auto Test and Auto Cross. No, Auto Test and Auto Solo. The difference between them is the Auto Solo is only done in the forward direction, and it's usually faster. So I think Auto Solo is the one to go for personally.
So wait, autocross, you have to like bang it into reverse.
Yeah,
Is that for like is it like precision driving essentially?
yeah, pretty much.
Ah, okay.
Um,
Yeah,
I
auto
mean,
solo. You're definitely way better like hooning it about a car park than like having some men wearing high vis measure how well you precision park.
yes, definitely. um,
Just some grey man drinking Bovril, marking you in your speed parking. Yeah, I'll give that a hard pass.
I think we might be underselling it here, though. um, now, there's two of my personal like this. This is where I think this is the really exciting stuff. So sprints and hill climbs are like here now.
Hill climb's kind of
So
one of those ones I'd love to have a go at.
yeah, man, definitely. Now, like I actually had a boss that used to hill climb. He used to hill climb in a Honda Civic, and like it legitimately looked amazing. Like it just looked incredible as a spectacle. Like it looked amazing, good fun. So you're in like categories here, which every motorsport has categories in it, like series. But like standard road cars to lightly modified cars to like proper single seater cars, but like you're looking at standard road and lightly modified stuff here
Mm-hmm.
for this budget. About 100 quid an event per event for entry fees. You need an RS inter club competition license as a minimum, and like compliant helmet and fireproof overalls. So like FIA approved stuff.
Aye,
Cart
so
and
that we're
local.
starting to get into that. You need a bit of clobber for this.
Yeah, this is like the higher up the hierarchy you go, like the more serious sort of safety equipment you're starting to need. But I mean, if you're still competing in a standard road car, it would depend on what the regulations say. But I don't actually think that means you need a roll cage, for example, because it's a
Mm.
standard road car.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's like a big thing as well. You're like 1,200 quid for a decent roll cage,
Aye,
which
totally, yeah. I mean, as soon as you start getting around any of the safety stuff on a car,
yep. As soon as a company somewhere needs to get it certified, you're paying more money. That's the rule. Karting is like properly within budget here. Like a complete ready to race cart and spares can be bought second hand for between £1,000 and £3,000. So then again, you've got £2,000 left to pay for expenses, entry fees, and a trailer. Or I mean, if you've got a van, you can fuck the trailer off.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Um,
karting's definitely it's a motorsport that people take very seriously. That's also very enterable. It is expensive, but it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, it's one of the most accessible. I mean, there's a reason why there's so many kids start there. Like, all your Formula One drivers started in karting, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. A lot of your circuit racing, rallying, I don't think so, because rallying you can actually start as a junior. But
How
the
old do you? Is that like
probably
what, like 15 or something?
fuck you can have children competing. Like it's in clubman like grassroots series, you can have kids as young as 12 competing on a
Oh wow, that's
competition,
wild.
which is nuts. Like, imagine getting spanked around a circuit by a 12-year-old lassie, and then she jumps out the car and goes, "You're slow as fuck, pal."
I
Dickhead.
mean, I'd be like, fair play. Yeah, I am. Obviously,
Like,
I am. Or
fucking
you're
fair
fast.
play
Or
then.
you're much faster.
Um, I mean, you're kind of getting into the start of circuit racing here as well. Um, like 750 motor clubs, the classic stock hatch MR2 championships, um, and then there's drag racing as well. But nobody races in a straight line and has fun. I don't think.
I
Uh,
am not a massive fan. Wait, drag racing fan.
yeah, no, it's not my cup of tea. Like, and now that's like the 5K. Then you've got 10K, which is like the proper. This is like your shit's getting serious now. Like,
Aye, we're starting to get out of the kind of out of
This
the
isn't,
possible.
yeah, this isn't like, for me, this is like you've been racing at the previous levels and you're getting a bit of success and you're doing reasonably well, and like you've put out like a wee feeler to see if anyone will sponsor you, and somebody's been like, I'll give you a couple of grand a year. And that's beefed your budget up. This is the way I see, like, for a normal everyday man,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
So I mean, 10k, you like you're potentially being able to buy like a fully prepared second-hand competition car. So like you could go circuit racing in a contest series at like your local circuit. For us, it'd be Knock Hill.
Aye,
Cars are upwards of 4 grand. Race entries start at like 200 quid. Then you've got like the 750 Motor Club. It has 14 different race series and championships, ranging from saloons to single seaters, which can be done within this budget, including the cost of a car. You've got like BRSCC organises like the Mighty Mini Championship, and the estimated cost for a full first year budget is between 9 and 9.5 grand,
aye.
which that seems quite reasonable. I mean, considering this is like a genuine bona fide championship that like attracts spectators and stuff.
Honestly, like considering how silly these numbers can get as well, like we are still very much in the accessible part.
Yeah, we are nowhere near like the Formula One £400,000 for a tenth. Well, it's like £4 million for like a tenth of a second improvement. That's like we're
Aye.
light years away from there. And then there's rallying. So like you've got your junior hatches. So like Novas. Well, maybe not now, but like
Back in
106s.
the day, maybe.
Maybe back in the day, but like 106s, 206s, Fiesta, like the junior cars, like F2000 kit cars and that sort of thing. Like they're apparently second hand. You can get a car from anywhere between 2.5 to 4 grand. Single venue events on private land start at about 200 quid, while like Gold Star Series forest events are 450 quid an event. But in rallying, the co-driver shares the costs of that as well. So like the entry to the event would be like maybe 200 quid each, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you get a championship called the Rally First Series. It's specifically for cars with limited modifications to keep costs down, and entry fees are like 350 quid an event.
Oh yeah, I mean, is that for like a multiple day event?
So that's like a race, a rally event. So that'll be several stages, which, I think for having set out with a question, we've answered that pretty hingabee, like, and I mean, even like your licensing, really, the license, like your RS Clubman is free, and then you get Interclub, or formerly National B, which has an ARDS test for circuit racing. That's like between 200 and 400 quid, which isn't bad, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. We are still definitely in the affordable club, but just a little bit more. It's like we're getting to the more kind of formalized motorsport here, aren't we? Like the
Yeah, but I mean,
lowest level of actual competitions.
yeah, but to be, this is the thing for me though, because I think if you're looking at doing this, you're really looking at wanting to start competition, because if you're not in competition, you might as well just do a track day for none of the additional expense.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean as well. There, you want it, but it's some people the competition's important. You know, being able to consistently go, and you can't
Well,
really compete on a track day.
no. I mean, maybe you and your pal could kind of have a wee bit of a fanny about it, but you can't, like, is it even possible to do 10 tenths on a track day? Or are you going to get black flagged if you're, like, actually racing as if you were racing? You know what I mean when I
Aye,
say that? Like, to actually be like, I am going to go fucking balls out and beat everyone on this track, come hell or high water. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not lifting until I see God or a checkered flag. That sort of fucking, like, you're going to get black flagged and taken off.
Yeah.
So, I think if you're getting to that sort of state of mind where you're like, I am going to fucking send it here, it's like, legitimately, you're looking for competition.
Mm-hmm. I think the competition's a big part. I think I'd be willing to pay to be in a competition. Like, it's exciting. Even if you don't win, it's still fun to compete.
Definitely, man. There's one thing that I've kind of forgotten about as well, and there's arrive and drive packages that you can buy. So it's like, it's almost tailored exclusively for beginners. So it's like a hassle-free, no bullshit. You get a fully prepared car, transport, and team support, and you can get them in like the C1 Racing series. It's available in UK race series like C1 and Caterham Academy, for example.
Okay.
And it gets you on the grid without owning or maintaining a car.
Aye, and there's something quite appealing of just being able to show up. Like, you need nothing.
Yeah. Like, see, do you know, honestly, like, see if Bex and the Waynes turned around to me and they were like, we're going to get you an experience day package.
Yeah.
Where you can go to a track and you'll drive like Lambos and an aerial Atom. I'd be like, no, don't. Get me an arrive and drive package for any race series you want. Get the cheapest one, I don't care. Like, I just want to have a go at that. Like, that's what I would do rather than an experience day. Which I think is probably quite a reasonable request.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally agree. The experience days are always a little bit. You run a big risk sometimes with them. Like I've done them in the past, and I was left wanting a lot more.
Yeah.
I just feel like you just don't get enough time in the car.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest gripe I would have, and also like I know I've heard from a lot of folk, you included, that they actually peg the cars back. Like, you're not actually allowed to drive hard.
Aye, they can do sometimes. Yeah, they like limit you.
And
there's nothing worse, is there? Like yeah, oh.
Yeah, like, I'm here because I want to drive the tits off a car that I don't own.
Aye, totally. Yeah.
End of fucking statement.
As far as my mind is concerned, I'm running from the police right now. Along a fixed circuit.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I am here to do this shit. Nothing more. So, yeah, man. I don't know. It's a bit, just fucking come on and let me go,
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah, absolutely. So do you know there's one other motorsport that I know of that is... Well, actually, there's a couple that I know of that are cheap. There's grass track racing. Or banger racing, depending on, kind of like where you are and how formalised they've made it.
Yeah.
It's not really what we're looking at, but it probably is quite good fun.
Yeah, see, because I was thinking about this when I was going through this, and I was like, I've kind of steered away from any, like, 4x4, like, green lane and all that, because I just don't get it.
Aye, we've talked about that before, yeah.
And also, the thing is, motorsport's crazy. Like, you've got lawnmower racing, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, do you know what? That was my second one, was going to be lawnmower racing.
And that's pretty low cost.
Yes.
A ride-on lawnmower that's fucked, and you fix it.
And some bravery.
Yeah, and then you've got the likes of your banger racing, like you said. But honestly, I don't really think that's motorsport. It's certainly not what I would term as an actual proper motorsport. More so the banger racing. Because, like, how do I actually word what I'm trying to say? I don't know. It's just a bit shit. Like, if you can intentionally, like, if you can win a race by knocking your fellow drivers out by just driving into them, I don't really think it's sport. I think it's just fucking stupidity.
Aye. I mean, genuinely, from my experience of watching grass track at a very amateur level, it's not really that. It's not that people trying to smash into each other and spin each other out. Like, there's maybe a little bit of trying to spin people, but it's not like people are like aiming to disable the other drivers because it's just too. It's too time inefficient.
Yeah.
Like the ones I remember watching was they would do a series of grass track races, for all the different like groups of cars, different engine groups and stuff like that. And then they would probably do like a spanner race, and then they would probably do like a winners race, and then at the end they would do a figure of eight race, and it was enter by discretion. So if anyone wanted to go into it, they could.
Yeah.
And that would typically be the more physical of all the races that day.
Yeah, see, like, this is the problem I have with it, where it's like you're actually intentionally aiming at people. Like, the only reason you're going into that figure eight is to see the biggest fucking crash imaginable. Like, that's like the aim of the game there.
Aye,
Otherwise,
maybe.
you wouldn't have a track set up where you're fucking careering across other people's paths.
Yeah, no, I get you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not really a race. It's more just like a survival thing.
Yeah. Like, and I do enough of that on the road.
Honestly, maybe it'll be better than the road.
Oh, well, I mean, the stakes are higher. I mean, I don't get fucking blackballed by an insurance company if I crash back into them. But I don't know, man. Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me.
Fair enough. Honestly, man, I think you should maybe give it a go. Maybe your rage will really, like, it'll be cathartic. Like, imagine someone gives you a bump and you're like, right, you going down.
You're getting all that.
You're like, I don't care about winning. I don't even care about finishing, but I care about you not finishing.
Fair, man. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but the thing is, I don't actually have an anger problem. I've got a fucking idiot problem. Right? If there was no idiots, I wouldn't be angry.
Sure.
Oh. Everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking lunatic thanks to this episode. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
man,
angry
yeah,
bastard, man.
absolutely not. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen you really lose your temper.
Have you not?
No, I don't think I ever have.
Wow. There's well, actually, to be fair, quite a few people have not actually ever seen me lose my temper, but the people who have seen me lose my temper are like, I want to avoid that.
Yeah, okay, it's not the best.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. We're getting away from a subject that I want to talk about anyway.
Fair, totally fair.
Into a subject that I'm not all that hot on advertising.
But what we have talked about is motorsport and cheap ways to get into motorsport. Ways to get into motorsport for less than the price of golf.
Yeah. So, Tom, the question I have, the burning question is, what would you do? Obviously, I know you're not going to say fucking golf, but like, what of the sports that we've talked about would tickle your pickle? What would butter your parsnips?
I think that I would most enjoy the auto solo kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
if I really had the money, I would love to enter a spec series. Just because I think going to all those different tracks around, like the UK, and competing with like kind of similar people each time in equal cars, and they're fairly low powered ones. Like we talked about the C1, we talked about the 1 Series. Like that sounds like that would be so much fun.
Yeah. I kind of have to agree.
Is that what you would do as well, or is there?
Yeah, man. Like, auto solo, sprints, hill climbing, and circuit racing would be my fucking absolute dream.
Oh, hill climbing! I'd 100%. I'd love to have a go at hill climbing as well.
But I wouldn't be opposed to like the trials, like the road rally.
I think road rally would be good fun with friends. Yeah, I'd never do that solo though. Well, I suppose you can't really
No.
do it solo.
well, I mean, at what point are you just like following Google Maps? Ken? Like,
I would definitely not use sat nav in that. Like it's
no,
more fun to just get lost.
definitely, it's proper paper map and compass sort of job that I reckon.
Aye.
Um, but like what you said about the spec series, like I'd love to do that. And you know how you were like, what you said that really struck with me was like racing with the same group of guys all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've watched Top Gun, I assume.
What, the new one?
No, the old one.
I
Any
think
of
I've
them.
seen the old one, yeah.
You know the fucking like the rivalries between them, where it's
Yeah,
like
I get you.
Iceman and fucking Maverick, and he's like, "You're a fucking dickhead." You're a fucking dickhead. Like, imagine that right before the race. You're like walking down the fucking pit lane, and there's a guy that's been fucking absolutely chomping at the bit to get past you for the last two races, and you're like, you see him, and you're like, you nod to him, and you're just like, you dick. I'm not fucking. You're not getting past me here, you fucker. And he just looks at you like, I'm getting fucking past you, like that. Like camaraderie plus rivalry. I think it'd be
Mm.
really fucking cool to experience.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think you could definitely make some like-minded friends at these kind of things.
Yeah, like, and it's a friendly rivalry. That's what I'm kind of looking for. That would be such a good atmosphere, you know?
Yeah, I know, I totally agree. 100% agree. I think this has kind of maybe inspired me a little bit to look kind of more seriously at something because I'm looking online and there is actually a local fairly active car club to me that fuck about with auto testing and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna see the fucking 2 Series in there as a road car.
It wouldn't fit the bill, man. These are
Why
not
not?
like these are like, you know, we're talking very lightweight cars. It's a small auto test they seem to do.
Ah, so you've got what, like a little hatchback with a hydraulic handbrake type thing.
Something like that, yeah, or like an MX-5 or something very very small.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Because like I'm legitimately like looking at that Impreza on Copart with longing in my eyes right now.
Yes, that would be sick.
Like legitimately, I don't think we could get a better car if we got that sprints, hill climbs, auto, solo, and trials. That's like boom. Just leave it standard power. Fuck about with the chassis. Get the brakes and everything. Make it light. Nothing else. Or even just leave it as a standard fucking road car
Ah, you
and
could leave
cruise
it. I
it.
mean, the temptation is to take like some weight out of it,
Yeah.
but I mean, also like that Z3,
The Z3 would be a Stoughton car
that would
for
be
it
a
as
good
well.
car for it too. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
That, dear listeners, I nearly said viewers there, but it's totally not that format of show yet. That, dear listeners, could be the sound of Auto Arcadia getting into motorsports.
If we do, I will buy a GoPro.
Yeah,
Yep, I 100% will.
that'd be cool, man. It really would be.
We'll need some form of recording, the car and what we do to it, but also we need something to record while we're doing it. Because what's the point in doing it if you can't then show your friends and be like, check out how fast I am.
Yeah,
You're slow. Me, I'm fast.
quite right, man. Quite fucking right. Yeah, man. Man. I think if we go any further, we're just going to descend into like making wish lists and what we want to fucking do.
Yeah, man.
So
No, I think we leave it here. This has been a really good episode. I cannot believe how bad value golf is compared to motorsport. That's what I'm taking away from this.
yeah, I am also like imagine paying six fucking grand to ruin a walk.
I mean that is fairly jumping in at the deep end. But we all know someone who's like, oh yeah, no, I'm into this now. Just dropped like 2 grand on all the tat,
Yeah,
and then like a month later, they never talk about that subject ever again.
Yeah, everyone has that friend. If you don't have that friend,
Oh,
you
that's a
probably
problem.
are that friend. But yeah, no man, this is cool, and certainly with what we've been speaking about with regards to the channel lately. Well, I say the channel, but the show. I think this could be an evolutionary episode. We could take something away from here, I think.
Oh, definitely no. Like we're gonna have to enter something when we've got our own little track car.
Definitely.
Like we will 100% enter something and we will record it.
Smashing. Well, not in the video. Smashing as in that's good. We're not going to smash.
that's that's like, maybe something we'll address later on when we try and push it too far.
Yeah. Well then, dude. I think that's us.
Yeah, that is us. I think we just need to thank everyone very much for listening. I hope they enjoyed this informative episode about budget motorsport and like what is actually out there. And also apply for your Clubman RS membership.
Yes, definitely. Because if nothing else, you can turn up to the pub and be like, I have a license that allows me to compete in organised, formalised motorsport.
And you will absolutely need it for literally everything.
Yeah, like, that's the thing as well. The reason they have a free available license that you just have to apply for is because everything is fucking licensed. So, like, you have to... everything's sanctioned. Like, this isn't, like, street racing. This is legit. You need to have some checks and balances on who's competing.
Absolutely, like even the local auto test meet, they're basically ragging cars about a farm. You still need the license. They still need the membership.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I've certainly learned a bit tonight. Like I'm really surprised by how accessible motorsport is, considering you can get behind the car racing for less than 500 quid in 6 months.
Aye, you just need to know where to look, really, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. As long as you know where to find the stuff, you're kind of laughing. Yeah, so thank you for listening. We have been Auto Arcadia. If you've enjoyed this episode, please, by all means, leave us a review, leave us some comments, let us know what you think. We'd actually love to hear from anyone that's listening who actually does compete in motorsport.
Yeah, I'd be really interested in that as well, yeah. Tell us your experience. Really cool. We want to hear it.
Yeah, tell us your experience, tell us how you got into it. And yeah, leave us a review, 5 stars if possible. If it goes higher than 5, of course, put it to 10. No 1 stars, that'd just be shite. A bit shady. So yeah, toodaloo.
Bye.